Welcome back to Arsenal News TV, and today we're going to first look at Arsenal risk repeating Manchester United's Paul Pogba transfer mistake, and then we're going to look at Arsenal managerial targets has already dropped hints over next club. So the first transfer headline states that Arsenal risk repeating Manchester United's Paul Pogba transfer mistake. So the reports are stating that Arsenal have a whole host of stars with less than a year on their deals. Arsenal will be fretting over the expiring contracts of their stars next summer, with the young talent Nketiah at the forefront of players who could leave on a free. Nketiah joined Arsenal aged 16 from Chelsea's youth academy after his release from the Blues. The Lewisham-born striker has gone from strength to strength at the Emirates Stadium, scoring 13 goals in what can mostly be considered sub-appearances. However, with the club's key attackers Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and Alexandre Lacazette ahead of him in the pecking order, Nketiah has found it hard to maintain a starting spot under Mikel Arteta. The Gunners reportedly attempted to sell Nketiah in the summer transfer window, with Crystal Palace interested in the youngster. However, the Eagles opted for Celtic talisman Odsonne Edouard instead after they couldn't agree terms with Nketiah, leaving Arsenal fretting over his future. The England under-21 captain has just 10 months left on his contract and can therefore leave on a free to foreign clubs next season if he agrees a pre-contract agreement in January. And this would spell yet another disastrous setback in Arsenal's torrid season. Mikel Arteta's men will be keen to avoid such a situation, since especially as it has happened to other big clubs in the Premier League before. Perhaps the most notable incident was Paul Pogba's departure to Juventus, with the Frenchman leaving Manchester United at the age of 19, only to be signed back for a then record transfer fee of £89 million. Paul Pogba's case has given clubs an indication as to what can happen when letting young players' contracts run down, although it has also given players a new lease of life in considering their future. And with first team football limited at Arsenal, it could well be that Nketiah follows in Paul Pogba's footsteps. Arsenal reportedly wanted £20 million for the youngster before reducing their asking price to just £12 million at the end of the window. But if Nketiah was to leave, not only would the Gunners miss out on a fee, but they'd not be able to insert a sell-on fee either. The Gunners have started their season horrifically, entering the international break at the bottom of the table without scoring a goal. But with fellow strugglers Norwich next up at home, they will look to pick up their first points of the season. So it looks like Arsenal risk repeating Manchester United's Paul Pogba transfer mistake, and the situation in Nketiah must have been sorted in the summer transfer window, but also did agree a fee with Crystal Palace for £12 million for Nketiah with some form of add-ons, but Nketiah didn't agree with Crystal Palace for his personal demands, and the wage demands from Nketiah was not something that Crystal Palace were able to match, and that is something that then finally did break down, and Arsenal weren't able to sell Nketiah as he enters the final year, and in January, if they do not sell him, he will leave on a free transfer. So this nicely takes us on to the second piece of transfer news, which states that Arsenal managerial target has already dropped hints over next club. So the reports are stating that Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta is under pressure after a series of tough results. Antonio Conte has reportedly upped his efforts to move to Arsenal to replace Mikel Arteta, who is undergoing pressure. The former Chelsea and Inter Milan manager has been tipped to become the next Gunners boss and solve their ongoing crisis. Antonio Conte has come to a preliminary agreement to become the next Arsenal manager should Mikel Arteta be sacked. Arsenal have had a shocking start to the season after 3 losses in a row without a single goal scored. It has left them rooted to the bottom of the Premier League, with Mikel Arteta coming under major trouble. Any further defeats could have catastrophic repercussions for the Spaniard, especially since Arsenal take on Norwich and Burnley. The Gunners' good turn to Antonio Conte has been strongly linked with a move to the club, and according to Fichajes, contact has been made with the Italian over a potential agreement to become the next manager of the club. Furthermore, Antonio Conte has given Arsenal the green light to proceed over a preliminary agreement and an arrangement should Mikel Arteta be sacked. The 52-year-old has had brilliant success with most clubs he has been at, including with Chelsea, Inter Milan and Juventus. It was his fine spell at Stamford Bridge that would have alerted Arsenal Chiefs the most. The Blues had finished 10th the season before in the Premier League before being catapulted to its titles through Antonio Conte's ruthless methods and excellent tactics. Also had a disastrous campaign last year when they ended up 8th, and the early signs this campaign indicate that there could be worse to come. Antonio Conte would have already passed the fan test when he rejected Tottenham Hotspur in the summer during their frantic search for a manager. So it looks like Arsenal managerial target has already dropped hints over next club, and Antonio Conte is a player that has been rooted to overtake Mikel Arteta and become the new Arsenal manager, as it looks very more likely that Mikel Arteta could be sacked, and I think this will be the final nail on the coffin if Mikel Arteta does lose the game versus Norwich, because that is a club that is in 19th position, just one position ahead of us, where we're 20th in the Premier League, and we don't have a better competition, a better opportunity to thrive upon with Norwich, then Burnley next. If Arteta draws or loses one of these games, I think it is game over for Arteta, because even though there is a lot of time given for Arteta, the Arsenal fans, when they turn their heads around, when they all work together to get rid of the manager, then Mikel Arteta is likely to leave. And when it comes to Antonio Conte, yes, his proven record is something that the Arsenal fans definitely want to see. The thing that he rejected Tottenham Hotspur, that is something that Arsenal fans really do enjoy. And this agreement that there has been talks regarding the fact that he has had an agreement with Arsenal over to take over Mikel Arteta is something that must be a little bit of controversy, because we will have to look deeper into this, because there are some sources suggesting that this is true, there are some sources suggesting that this is false. So when it comes to the managerial target, I think Antonio Conte is the right man because of his proven track record. But when it comes to Mikel Arteta, I think he needs to get 2 wins, because I do want him to succeed at this football club, but he needs to start delivering results, and he needs to start showing a little bit more importance and getting the right decisions at the right time. So we will have to wait and see how Arsenal performs at the end of this season. If you want to see more daily videos from Arsenal News TV, make sure you click the subscribe button, hit the like button so I know if you enjoyed the video, and share the video to your Arsenal friends and family. Click one of the videos on the screen and I'll see you there.